Happy Easter! Today's Easter. Alright, let's get into this. This is a very important video that I'm going to make here. So, I think about, and I'm sure many people think about, what do I want in life? What do I do with this life? Seems to be really like one of the very core questions to ask yourself. To orient yourself, I mean, if you don't ask yourself, what do I want? How are you going to orient yourself towards anything? So the thing is, like, these desires, these kinds of ultimate goals in life that I can like strive towards, work towards, like have a vision in my mind. What kind of life do I want to live? What kind of person do I want to be? What do I really want to put my energy and attention into? Now, what becomes very difficult is we rarely have time, if ever at all, to be alone with ourselves for a long period of time. We're in a society, we're looking at all these different types of media, you know, the internet, and we're just in a world with other people, and so we're picking up on what other people are doing and blah, 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 you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say here is that what you want is defined by another human, another, you know what I mean? That even the word, like, oh, I want, like, you know, it's like, I want to do this, whatever that is. Say, like, I want to be a musician. A musician, it's a word that was created by someone else. Like, it's just hard to explain what I mean exactly. I mean, I'm sure you're getting the idea, but I'm not fleshing it out as much as I could. There's obviously things that I resonate with that bring me into the flow state and nourish my soul. And it's like, okay, so these are the kinds of things that I want in life. It's like, or I watch other people or different, whatever, I'm looking at anything and it inspires me, and I'm like, oh, that inspires me. I want to do something similar like that. There are these kinds of things, right? So for me, it's like, you know, what feels soulful and nourishing to you know, create and work towards is things like, you know, filmmaking and music, and, you know, the kind of spiritual path of awakening, meditation, fitness, playfulness, you know. There are things that, you know, as you grow, as you just exist more and more in time, you start to know these common threads, that the things that give you joy, and you're like, okay, these are the things that give me joy. And it's like, I want to, whatever, man, like, And there's this whole thing of discipline. It's like using your logical mind, like write out the kind of, like have a vision, write out a vision that you have of your life. What kind of place you want to be? What kind of people do you want to surround yourself with? What kind of work do you want to be doing? What kind of, how much money you got? What, all these things. It's like, you have a vision. It's like, wow, that vision, like I want to, like, yeah, I'm going to work towards this. And it's like, maybe your vision is enlightenment. And it's like, okay, I'm going to meditate a lot and do these techniques. And, all of this is good to a certain extent, which I'm going to get into, because it's like, growing up in this kind of culture of fucking degeneracy, right? Everybody's just eating kind of junk food, and like we're not really being taught to what a healthy life looks like. Then we've acquired all these habits that are very detrimental to ourselves and to others. And so it does take discipline, does take writing down these fucking healthy habits and the kind of vision you life, and resisting the craving towards unhealthiness and making sure you do it. It's like, okay, I've got to run today. I'm going to run today. Tick it off the checklist. Okay, I'm not going to eat any sugar today. Tick it off the checklist. And it's like a hard thing because you're changing your habits, right? This video is kind of a mess. I'm going all over the place. But what I really want to talk about is, really, it's like, where did any of these desires to change come from? Like, you've heard about it from other people, all these things. You've heard about it. Even spirituality and shit. It's like the word spirituality and all this kind of stuff. Like, people talking about consciousness and whatever. It's like you learnt that word from somebody else. It's like, would you even... hard to explain. You see, like, everyone's following other people. There's no originality. And this is what I keep doing as well. But, like, I keep getting off track. Because one of my main values in life is thinking for yourself. Really thinking for yourself. What do you know to be true? What do you actually want? It's very hard to actually know because there's all this other input coming in, and it's like, see, people say like money and that or whatever else. Make your thing happen. What do you enjoy doing? Make that a career. Make it whatever. That's already existing in a pre-made system that you didn't decide to create. You know what I mean? It's like people are like, oh, quit the 9 to 5. Yeah, everybody knows the 9 to 5 is a fucking rat race. Quit it. It's fucking bullshit. Go pursue your creative endeavors and make a living out of that. It's still a system. It's still a paradigm that you didn't create for yourself. You're still falling into someone else's way of perceiving and thinking about life and these kinds of things. See, yeah. Because I think it's like we get inspired by other people. It's like, wow, this person's like, I just kind of want to aspire to that because I'm inspired by it. So I'll kind of follow what they followed, you know? It's like, for me, it's like these people online talk about awakening and whatever, and I'm like, these kind of people inspire me, and it's like I kind of want to work towards that. So it's like you follow what they say and whatever. It's like, you know, the Buddha fucking got enlightened and then laid out this fucking system, the fucking 4 Noble Truths and the 8-fold Path. And then it's like, okay, if I want enlightenment, if I want truth realization, I want the fucking heart of the goodness from life, I'll follow what the Buddha taught because I aspire to be like that and end suffering and find the truth and be liberated and all this. But you're following someone else's system. And I'm not saying that that can't be helpful. It definitely can be helpful, but at some point it just seems like you really gotta, if like you really want what you really want, then you're gonna have to think for yourself and go on your own path. Like, completely. And this is what I've been coming into contact with. It's like, the me a few years ago would be proud of the me that is me now. Like, I've gotten to the point of the me that I wanted to be. It's like I've manifested my desires, you know. It's like I'm making consistent YouTube videos that feel authentic to me, and blah, 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 whatever else. All these things that I want. And it's like I still have these ambitions and shit. It's like, okay, I still want to work towards this. You know, I still want to just get better. I want to meditate more and, you know, access these kinds of states of consciousness. And I want to improve my fitness, and I want to whatever, blah, 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 blah. But why? Why is it? Because here's the thing. I'm not getting nourishment and fulfillment and this soulful nourishment from the things that I'm doing because I think that these are the things that are good to do or whatever. Like, yeah, I make videos, for instance, but it's like, you see, I do all this kind of stuff, and it's like people are inspired by the things that I'm putting out there. And there is value in it, you know. But a lot of what I do, there isn't this soulful nourishment and vigor to it. It's like I just like, for instance, for video making, it's like I just take my camera and film shit, and then I just edit, and it's just like, Oh, okay, what's next? Drag in the next clip. Cut it. Okay, put in some music. It's so fucking basic and routine. And even if it's not, even if I try and switch it up a bit, it's like, so fucking what? What I'm trying to get at here is that this paradigm or system that society has laid out for me is not working. And you see, there's many sub-systems within that system that you think is stepping outside the system, but it's not. Like I said, for example, with the 9-to-5 rat race, you think it's like, that's the system, but following my passions and earning a living from that, that's stepping out the side of the system and doing my own thing. But no, you're still falling prey to someone else's pre-made system. And it's the same with me, like, I'm gonna, meditate all day or whatever and follow these techniques and blah, 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 blah. It's just another system. And it's like, again, there's one part of it where it's like, okay, but these systems have worked for other people. There's a reason why there's these systems in place, because they work, they're effective. But at the same time, what do you really want? Why do you want them? Why do you want the things you want? Why do you want the things you want? Why do you strive towards these certain things in life? Why? Why? A lot of it, I think, is to fit in, is to just fit in, and we don't think about it like that. It's like, no, I'm way past that. I'm way past fitting in, I'm beyond that fucking desire. But I think it runs deep, Anyway, I don't know, like, if I've really fucking said anything in this video, but I'm just trying to lay down some groundwork, because you see, again, like, there are these things in my life that have brought me joy in the past, and things that I look in other people that I'm inspired by and want to develop in myself. And you see, that's really that's how people kind of navigate in life. It's like, okay, what are the things that bring me joy in life, that bring me kind of fulfillment, that, I've done in the past that have been like, the things that have really made me light up. And what are the things in other people or in life that inspire me and, like, just give me this energy that's like, wow, that's it, I want to go in that direction. That's how people think about how they navigate life and all the rest. But what would you do if you were the only person on Earth? If you were the only human on Earth, what would you do then? What do you want to do? Would you bother trying to build muscle for aesthetic reasons? Would you bother making films? Would you bother trying to get better at socializing? Who are you going to socialize with? see, what I'm really just trying to point at here is what feels like the most soulful thing to do in your life. Like now, not what you think is soulful, but what you feel is soulful. Because again, like, you may have been like, oh yeah, this specific kind of area in art is what really fucking is soulful for me. Therefore, I'm going to pursue it. But what if it's not soulful for me? I don't know if I'm making any sense here, but like, for me, it's like, yeah, filmmaking and shit like that. Yes, in the past, there's like this soulfulness to it, but like right now, it doesn't feel soulful. So people tell me like, pursue filmmaking, you're good at it, and you seem to enjoy it, but it's not like, there's all these things I'm doing that just feel like a pastime or a hobby or just a background thing to play with. But there's not like the juice of it, the meat and potatoes, the fucking, what am I really like, you know what I mean? It's like all these background things that people usually don't see as background things, they usually put at the forefront of their attention and go, I'm going to develop more in that, and that's going to be kind of what my life is about. But even for me, like meditation and spirituality and awakening and all that, it still feels like a background hobby kind of thing, because it's something that I've learned about, I've heard about it. I didn't fucking come up with the word enlightenment. I didn't come up with the meditation techniques and all this shit, you know? And so when I think about what feels soulful and nourishing and necessary, it feels like well, it just feels like I have to discover it for myself. I can't fall into any other system. You see, like, the Buddha, he went his own way, and he crossed paths with all these wandering ascetics and learnt from them, learnt all this shit, and, you know, learnt the jhanas, these altered states of consciousness, and tried to fast and starve himself and all this stuff. He learnt this from other people, and he was just like, well, none of this is fucking ending suffering. None of this is really getting to what I really want. And so he went his own way. And only when he went his own way, did he find what he was after. So you have to go your own way. At some point, it seems, you know, because nothing, like, it feels like all these desires I have from like other people, external forces, they're still within me, and it feels like I have to kind of exhaust them. It's like there's still a lot of desire for me to go on like intensive, long meditation retreats to see what that's like, and all these other kinds of shit, right? But there's something in the back of my mind where it's just like, yeah, but why am I doing that? Is that what I really want? Or is it just like, I'm doing that because I think it's going to get me what I want? And other people have done that, and blah, 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 blah. So what feels authentic to me is to leave all that behind. Stop being inundated with other people, via people, books, the internet, everything. It feels like what I want to do is go into the wilderness in a private place where no one's about and just have the bare minimum, to be alone and to not fucking practice any meditation techniques and to not be like, you know what I mean? But to just come back to myself and ask what do I actually want here from this life, without looking to anybody else. This is my life. What do I want? What do I do? You see, now I've done this a lot. Like, I mean, I do this a lot. You know, I am alone a lot because I recognize that this is what is needed. But yet, you know, I'm still in a society. I'm still interacting with people and going on YouTube and whatnot. And so there's all this other shit coming at me. There's never this time to really soak in this aloneness without anybody. See, this is something people are afraid to do, I think. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll do that, but let me bring a book. Let me listen to a podcast. Just so I know I'm on the right track, you know? You put trust and faith into other people, which again is not necessarily bad. It can be very helpful, but yeah, perhaps at some point is like, what do you really want? What do you want? What do you want? See, what feels like I need, what I really fucking soulfully yearn for, is to fucking purge 25 years of bullshit out of my system. To go into the wilderness and to fucking speak gobbledygook out loud, to scream, to cry, to climb trees, to run, to swim, to fucking do handstands, to watch trees and the riverbanks for hours on end, to turn consciousness onto itself, to contemplate who I am, what is life, what is reality, without anybody giving me a fucking technique about, Ramana Maharshi, ask yourself, who am I? It's like, no, you've got that from someone else. You've got to arrive to that technique yourself, you know? Like, it's like, I'm suffering. Oh, Ramana Maharshi says, ask who am I? Okay, I'll do that to end suffering. But he's got different wiring to you. He had different conditioning. He came to that himself. You got to find your own thing. So it feels like I need to fucking get out in the wilderness and fucking go fucking wild. Purge this shit out of my system. It's what it feels like, you know? Purge all this social and cultural falsehood out of my system. And just follow that kind of follow that flow of nature, you know, like, because there's this thing of like, okay, I want to work more to my goals, you know, I want to, meditate, and it's like you write a checklist or whatever. It's like, got my meditation off today, checklist done, yeah, done that, did a run, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, again, it can be very helpful and impactful to discipline yourself like that, to be like, okay, for like 1 month or 1 year, whatever, I'm going to meditate 1 hour a day. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to go to the gym 3 times a week, and it's like, check it off. It's like, yeah, build new habits, become healthier, become better, blah, 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 whatever. It's all good. But for me, it's like I've gotten to the point where some of that can still be fulfilling to a certain extent, but also it's not addressing anything really. There's still this thing within me that's like, none of that's fucking working. None of that is actually getting me to what I really want. It's just kind of changing up. It's just improving this character, this avatar. You know, we always look to other people. It's like, it's like if I'm gonna fucking purge and purge all this shit out of my system, it's like we read books. Like, what's the process of purging? How do I purge? How do I purge shit out of my system? How do I heal? How do I grieve properly? You know, it's like, it's stupid, man. It's like you're just giving up your power, and you're becoming a prescription junkie. It's like, everybody prescribe me some self-help thing so I know I'm on the right track, so I can fit in. And see, this is, I think, what it comes down to. It's the fear of not fitting in, the fear of going astray. Because even you can like be like, okay, I'm going to go astray, I'm going to go like, I don't know, like go on this pilgrimage or meditation retreat and whatever, and it's like it feels like you're going astray, but it's like you learned that from somebody else. You read it somewhere. It's like, oh yeah, like the Buddha went astray and meditated and whatever. I'm gonna do that too. And it's like you're just trying to be like that, where it's like that's not your own path. You got to find your own path. And you see, maybe I keep using this analogy of the Buddha, but it's like, yeah, whatever. It's like maybe what you want isn't what other people have got. Maybe what you want is something that has never been discovered before. See, I tend to sometimes look at the Buddha and be like, he got what I wanted, ended suffering, found the truth, liberated, blah, 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 blah. Or, other people that I look up to and whatnot. But perhaps what I really want is not to end suffering. Maybe I don't actually want to know the truth of who I am in reality. Or at least in the ways that, the Buddha found out, or whatever fucking sage and mystic found out, or whoever else that I'm inspired by found out. Like my path. Gotta follow that. People say like, don't follow in the Buddha's footsteps. Don't seek to be like Buddha. Seek what the Buddha sought. But don't even seek what the Buddha sought. You don't even know if that's true, or what you want, or what the fuck he even fucking realized. You don't fucking know what he realized. You don't fucking know what any fucking spiritual person you look up to has realized. You have no fucking idea. What are you gonna, like, you've only got you. So, like, the reason I'm just, like, talking about all this is because it's, like, I just feel like I'm going through life, dragging my feet. There's no fucking zest. And it's, like, I'm fucking trying to get that zest, man. And it's, like, so I'm trying to do this kind of shit. It's, like, what do I really want, you know? I do this, do that, blah, 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 blah. And, it's, like, close. It's coming close to what I want. But it's never the actual thing. And it's because I think that, yeah, I've got to find that for myself. Like, I don't know, it's just how I'm thinking now anyway, for the last 36 minutes. And it's not easy, man. It's not fucking easy because everybody else is falling into a pre-packaged system, a pre-made system. You know, people are like, if you want to be great, you got to have the discipline. You know, it's like, if you really want what you want, you got to have the discipline. You got to work hard. You know, you got to make sure you're doing blah, 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 blah. Can be helpful for sure. But it's like, again, like, maybe you don't have to do that. Why believe someone? So anyway, have a good day, my fellow humans, and I'll see you later.